I'm not sure why I'm writing this down on paper and not my computer. I guess I've just noticed some odd things. It's not that I don't trust the computer, I just need to organize my thoughts. I need to get down all the details somewhere objective, somewhere I know that what I write can't be deleted or changed. Not that that's happened, it's just everything blends together here, and the fog of memory lends a strange cast to things. I'm starting to feel cramped in this small apartment. Maybe that's the problem. I just had to go and choose the cheapest apartment, the only one in the basement. The lack of windows down here makes night and day seem to slip by seamlessly. I haven't been out in a few days because I've been working on this programming project so intensively. I suppose I just wanted to get it done. Hours of sitting and staring at a monitor can make anyone feel strange, I know, but I don't think that's it. I'm not sure when I first started to feel like something was odd. I can't even define what it is. Maybe I just haven't talked to anyone in a while. That's the first thing that crept up on me. Everyone I normally talk to online while I program has been idle, or they have simply not logged in at all. My instant messages go unanswered, and the last email I got from anybody was a friend saying he'd talk to me when he got back from the store, and that was yesterday. I'd call with my cell phone, but the reception's terrible down here. Yeah, that's it. I just need to call somebody. I'm going to go outside. Well, that didn't work out so well. As the tingle of fear fades, I'm feeling a little ridiculous for being scared at all. I looked in the mirror right before I went out, but I didn't shave the 2-day stubble that I've grown. I figured that I was just going out for a quick phone call. I did change my shirt though, because it was lunchtime, and I guessed I'd run into at least one person that I knew. That didn't end up happening. I wish it did though. When I went out, I opened the door to my small apartment slowly. A small feeling of apprehension had already lodged itself within me for some undefinable reason. I chalked it up to not having spoken to anyone but myself for a day or two. I peered down the dirty, gray hallway, made dirtier by the fact that it was a basement hallway. On one end, a large metal door led to the building's furnace room. It was locked, of course. 2 dreary soda machines stood next to it. I bought a soda from one the first day I moved in, but it had a 2-year-old expiration date. I'm fairly sure nobody knows these machines are even down here, or my cheap landlady just doesn't care enough to get them restocked. I closed my door slowly, walking in the other direction, taking care not to make a sound. I have no idea why I chose to do that, but it was fun giving into the strange impulse not to break the droning hum of the soda machines. At least for the moment. I got to the stairwell and took the stairs up to the building's first floor. I looked through the heavy door's small square window and received quite the shock. It was definitely not lunchtime. City gloom hung over the dark street outside, and the traffic lights at the intersection in the distance blinked yellow. Dim clouds, purple and black from the glow of the city, hung overhead. Nothing moved, save for a few sidewalk trees that shifted in the wind. I remember shivering, though I wasn't cold. Maybe it was the wind outside. I could vaguely hear it through the heavy metal door. I knew it was the unique kind of late-night wind. The kind that was constant, cold, and quiet, save for the rhythmic music it made as it passed through countless unseen tree leaves. I decided not to go outside. Instead, I lifted my cell phone up to the door's window and checked the signal meter. The bars filled up the meter and I smiled. Time to hear someone else's voice, I remember thinking, relieved. It was such a strange thing to be afraid of nothing. I shook my head, laughing at myself silently. I hit speed dial for my best friend Amy's number, and held the phone up to my ear. It rang once, but then it stopped. Nothing happened. I listened in silence for a good 20 seconds, then hung up. I frowned and looked at the signal meter once again. Still full. I went to dial her number again, but my phone rang in my hand, startling me. I put it up to my ear. "Hello?" I asked, immediately fighting down a small shock at hearing the first spoken voice in days, even if it was my own. I had gotten used to the droning hum of my building's inner workings, my computer and the soda machines in the hallway. There was no response to my greeting at first, but then, finally, a voice came.
"Hey,"
said a clear male voice, obviously college age, like me.
"Who's this?"
"Sean?"
"Oh, sorry. Wrong number."
he replied, then hung up. I lowered my phone slowly and leaned against the thick brick wall of the stairwell. That was strange. I looked at my received calls list, but the number was unfamiliar. Before I could think on it further, the phone rang loudly, shocking me yet again. This time, I looked at the caller before I answered. Another unfamiliar number. I heard nothing but the general background noise of a phone. Then, a familiar voice broke my tension.
"John?"
was the single word in Amy's voice. I breathed a sigh of relief. "Hey, it's you."
Who else would it be? Oh, the number. I'm at a party on 7th Street and my phone died just as you called me. This is someone else's phone, obviously.
"Oh, okay."
Where are you?
My eyes glanced over the drab walls and the heavy metal door with its small window. "At my building. Just feeling cooped up. I didn't realize it was so late."
You should come here.
"Nah, I don't feel like looking for some strange place by myself in the middle of the night," I said, looking out the window at the silent, windy street that secretly scared me just a little. "I think I'm just going to keep working and go to bed."
Nonsense. I can come get you. Your building is close to 7th Street, right?
"How drunk are you? You know where I live."
Oh, of course. I guess I can't get there by walking. Huh.
"You could if you wanted to waste a half an hour."
Right. Okay. Have to go. Good luck with your work.
I lowered my phone once more, looking at the numbers flash as the call ended. Then, the droning silence suddenly reasserted itself into my ears. The two strange calls and the eerie street outside just drove home my aloneness in this empty stairwell, perhaps from having seen too many scary movies. I had the sudden, inexplicable idea that something could look in the door's window and see me. Some sort of horrible entity that hovered at the edge of aloneness, just waiting to creep up on unsuspecting people that strayed too far from other human beings. I knew the fear was irrational, but nobody else was around, so I jumped down the stairs, ran down the hallway into my room, and closed the door as swiftly as I could while still remaining silent. Like I said, I feel a little ridiculous for being scared of nothing, and the fear has already faded. Writing this down helps a lot. It makes me realize that nothing's wrong. It filters out the half-formed thoughts and fears. It leaves only cold, hard facts. It's late. I got a call from a wrong number and Amy's phone died. So she called me back from another number. Nothing strange is happening. Still, there was something a little off about that conversation. I know it could have just been the alcohol she had had. Or was it even her that seemed off to me? Or was it... Yeah, that was it. I didn't realize until this moment writing these things down. I knew writing things down would help. She said she was at a party, but I only heard silence in the background. Of course, that doesn't mean anything in particular, as she could have just gone outside to make the call. No, that couldn't be it either. I didn't hear the wind. I need to see if the wind is still blowing.